I'm recording. Anyways, okay, I hope this is helping. And it's Saturday morning. I woke up this morning and laid here for about an hour and I was thinking about things. And at some point, maybe I'll compress the information and into just an outline format, so it's a lot easier to follow. I know on the videos I'm just kind of rambling because like I said, I haven't organized this into anything. It's just all in my head. There's one major element to this, another tool of interpretation, and this is a really strong example of how the truth was encoded in the Bible, but it's upside down and backwards. And that has to do with the concept of heaven and hell. Pretty much you can assume that everything in the Bible is symbolic. It represents something. That's a layman's way of describing it. I mean, if you study mystery school theology and secret society theology, it's all about the symbolism. And so the Bible is no different. Christianity is no different. And when you think about it, Christianity is, especially the way it's practiced today, is a very modern religion, and it's actually been handed down and handed down and handed down and distilled into this modern way of looking at life, and yet Christians believe they know the truth, the absolute truth. They don't. Let me tell you, all it takes is a simple couple questions. You ask yourself honestly, then you realize you don't have the answers. You don't know, based on how we've been taught by the church. So this other tool or way of perceiving or interpreting Scripture has to do with the concept of heaven and hell. And I'm just going to come out and say it instead of going through a long description. Basically, it comes down to this. Hell is the earthly existence. Heaven is the spiritual existence before you came here. And yes, you did exist before you came here. Your spirit or your life force exists outside of time. Time is a construct it's a man-made construct, but it's also a function of the third dimensional realm, having to do with space and time. And it's a mechanism for consciousness to experience things at a slower rate here on Earth. That's a whole nother story. But basically, if you look at the overall theme of the Bible and you take the concept that Earth is hell and heaven is the spiritual existence outside of that, then things make sense and fall into place. There's an age-old debate having to do with the resurrection of mankind. That was the reason the Pharisees and the Sadducees were divided into two different schools. It was over the subject of resurrection. And it comes up quite often throughout the New Testament. The reality of resurrection, and Jesus exhibited this symbolically when he raised Lazarus from the dead. And what that was a public initiation into the mystery school that Jesus was a part of, having to do with, now look, there was 18 years of his life when he was a child and growing up into an adult that are missing. They're not in the biblical account. Where was he? What was he doing? We know that when Mary was pregnant with Jesus, an angel appeared to Joseph and told him, take the child, or flee into Egypt. And no, that's wrong. Sorry.